Welcome back, everybody, to Disney Cars 2013 Diecasts Ranked. Of course, today we are doing part 2 of the World Grand Prix 2013 series. So, let's get started. Of course, last time, I went through the first 7 cars that I was going to discuss. And those were all the 7, not necessarily worst, because they're all good, but the 7 ones that are furthest from the best. Now we're going to go through the next few. Alright, let's get started. So guys, watching part 1 of me ranking the World Grand Prix series, as well as watching this part, and watching part 3, which will be coming out soon, you'll probably notice one very important car is missing. Carlo Veloso wasn't released in this series this year. That's very odd. I don't know why. I mean, this was the first year that Rip Clutch Gonski was in the World Grand Prix series. First year he was released, so I guess maybe they had a certain number of cars. They were like, oh, you could only put 17 cars in this series. And so they decided to cut out Carlo Veloso in favor of some new releases, because this series did have a lot of new releases at the time. Now all those releases are always released every single year. Rip Clutch Gonski and the announcers with headsets. New releases. But here we are with Miguel Camino. Of course, he is one of the more elaborately designed World Grand Prix cars. You could see that I definitely prefer the more fun, elaborate-looking race cars to the a bit more bland and boring ones. Well, not that they're boring, but the ones with a bit less detail. Most of those World Grand Prix racers with less detail ended up on the last part of the video on part 1. But yeah, Miguel Camino really isn't too bad, so that was able to give him a spot in part number 2. I'm not sure, guys, if Bruno Motor's first release was this year. No, sorry, actually, he was released in a 4-pack Target exclusive as the exclusive vehicle back in 2011-2012, and he returned in a 2-pack in this year, which of course is a bit sad. Maybe it kind of ruined the value for some people, but still, it's great to not have to pay the extra money to get him. This 2-pack was pretty great. Raul's actually one of my favorite World Grand Prix racers, if not my favorite, and Bruno Motor is one of my favorite crew chiefs for his very fun design. He's a very unique car compared to all the other cars released, even though I'm pretty sure he shares the model. He shares the same model as like 5 other cars. Alright, now on to the next car. To this day, I haven't found a Shu Todoroki. That's right, guys, I don't have a Shu Todoroki in my collection. So, that's one of the main reasons why he is up on the list, up so high on the list. The fact that for the past few years I've really been wanting this guy, for about the past year, because that's when I really started seriously collecting cars. I've just really started to appreciate Shu Todoroki and his design. I really find him really cool with his paint job and everything. And I've decided not to buy him online because I know how common a character he is and how often he gets released, and I really feel no need to buy him online when I know that I'll eventually be able to find him in stores. So guys, wish me luck whenever I go into a store, because hopefully one day I will come out with a Shu Todoroki, and it'll definitely be worth it, because he, in my opinion, is one of the coolest looking World Grand Prix racers. Now, if Carlo Veloso were on this list, she'd probably be before Shu Todoroki or after him. I'm not sure. Again, she, for some weird reason, isn't in the series. I don't understand that, guys. Eric Lindley is yet another car in the series that I don't have. But he is definitely a very fascinating release. It's very odd. He only appeared for a couple seconds in the movie. You see, guys, there was actually a different car in each part of the movie waving the flag. I believe that in London, it was a Mini Cooper. I believe he is a Honda. Sorry, I don't have a very good picture of him right now. Yeah, I believe he's a Honda. And I believe that a Fiat waved as a flag in Italy. So, it's very fascinating that Mattel has not yet released the flag-waving cars for London or Italy. It kind of feels like Mattel doesn't really acknowledge that they exist. Hopefully in the near future they get released. But honestly, he is one of my favorite cars from the series, especially because they went the extra mile with him. You see, guys, for all those other guys, for the other diecasts that have flags, they just put the flag in the mirror. However, that's not accurate at all. But they make the mirrors big enough to allow you to fit the flag there. However, for Eric Lindley, they went the extra mile and put an area near the tire for you to plug in the flag, which is way more accurate as it's actually attached to his tire. As you could see from the packaging picture, you could also see from the packaging picture that you fit the flag into a little hole that isn't in the mirror. You actually fit it above the tire. Way more accurate. Hopefully they do that for Dexter Hoover someday. I really highly doubt it, though. David Hobbs' Cap's model is just a bit odd to me. Now, it is actually movie accurate, and he's not the only one to have this model. Jumpstart J. Ward, Leland Turbo, the canceled Eric Wheelie all have this model, but it just kind of looks a bit odd to me. It's probably based off of a real car. In fact, I believe it is based off of a real car. But again, it just looks a little odd. The car's a bit too wide, even compared to David Hobbs' Cap's movie counterpart. However, the headset's always an added bonus. I always love it when Mattel once again goes the extra mile, just like what they did for Eric Lindley, and gives the characters headsets. Now that's kind of a weird thing to say, because you're probably thinking, oh Ty, they always give them headsets. They didn't give Brent Mustangburger a headset in his first release. And I don't even think he appeared without the headset. Daryl in Cars 2 appeared without the headset, but only for a few seconds. Meanwhile, I believe Brent had the headset on the whole time. Speaking of Brent, here he is right now, guys. His headset, of course, this was the first time he had a headset. His headset looks great, honestly. I definitely prefer him with a headset to the one without a headset, mainly because this one's a Canon one, of course. Now, of course, he and David and Daryl basically are released every single year with the headsets, as are all the World Grand Prix racers, so that really makes a bunch of collectors, including me, not really care about them as much, and gonna be like, oh yeah, another year, they're gonna be released again. But really, if you look at them closely, they really are pretty great. Same thing goes for all the World Grand Prix racers. But, again, it definitely makes them a bit boring when they are just released the same way every single year. Oh, hey, it's a 2-pack now. It's still the same 2 guys being released, now in a different combination. Hey, it's the guys with the headset. They're singles now. Now they're 2-packs. You see what I mean? Of course, certain characters are released every year, and it's basically necessary. And, I mean, these guys don't seem like they're even coming out this year, the 3 headset announcers, which I find a bit sad. Because, again, these cars that are released every year are still great. They definitely are pretty great. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Of course, the final part should be up soon. It will be coming out in a few days, and then after that, we'll be talking about the Wheelwell Motel series. A series with 11 cars, and one of my personal favorite series from the year, for some of the new releases. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Bye now.